This is the module on equipment, and in the coming lessons we are going to talk more about each specific type of equipment that we need and what we need to look for. However, I first wanted to take a couple of minutes of your time to give a bird's eye overview of what equipment is necessary to transform our aquarium from a container of water to a suitable and habitable environment for tropical fish and plants. There are three essential pieces of equipment that every aquarium needs. There's a heater, which is important to raise and control the temperature to the desired level that your fish like. Then there's filtration, that cleans your water, catches particles out of the water, and also prevents the aquarium from becoming stagnant. It keeps the water moving. And then finally there's lighting, which is there so we can see our fish, but also because we're going to grow plants. When it comes to equipment, there are so many different possibilities, different options, different brands, different price points out there on the market for us to choose from, and it can become pretty overwhelming. And obviously you don't want to overspend on equipment, but trust me, you also don't want to underspend. So you have to know where you're able to cut corners. Before we hop into the first piece of equipment, I want to give you a short overview of the equipment that I am running on one of my aquariums. I'll go into detail a little bit more there. And after you've seen how my aquarium is running, then we'll dive into the first piece of equipment. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Alrighty, this is my aquarium and I want to show you the equipment I'm currently running. So let's start with the essential equipment we just covered in the introduction. Right there in the corner, stuck to the back of my aquarium, is a heater that's set to about 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Then there's filtration, and I am currently running this canister filter. Like we'll see in the coming lessons, there are different types of filtration, and a canister filter, which is the right thing over there, that's my filter, is a popular type of filtration. And a canister filter requires an intake, which is there in the middle of the screen. Right there in the middle of the screen is the output of the canister filter. And then finally I am running lights, which you can see underneath here. That overly bright stripe of light is the reflection of my lighting I'm running on this tank. This fire extinguisher right here is a good example of other equipment that I am running on my tank. It's a carbon dioxide fire extinguisher, which I use to inject pressurized CO2 into my aquarium. And right there, if it can focus, is where the CO2 enters the tank. And I do this to promote plant growth, but there's an entire lesson on whether or not you should invest into injecting CO2 in your tank. Then also right here on the side, there's a wave maker, which basically is a flow pump that adds flow to my aquarium. And I do this because I'm not happy with the flow provided by just the output of the canister filter. Then, yeah, this is an entire list. I bought this a couple of months ago. This is a DJ switch panel, which is basically a giant power strip. For example, my old one is still lying right there. I used to use this, and I upgraded to this, because now I can individually turn on and off all my equipment. I'm still running a smaller canister filter right here, and this is my backup CO2 cylinder. So in short, that's the equipment that I am running. Now let's make sure you get a better understanding of what equipment you need, what's essential, what's not essential, and let's make sure you're confident with making the right decision.